What's the reality? Did Team USA suffer in the warm-up games because they are no longer as dominant against the rest of the countries? Or maybe they were just missing their best scorer?
White, the cross, the kick, swing,
there
Durant.
You go. What's his name?
Three.
What's his name?
Kevin Durant is one of the best FIBA players to ever represent Team USA, and his presence is absolutely necessary on the team, as was Carmelo Anthony's years ago. This is something that has been clear in his first game back from his left calf strain that has been affecting him since April. But why is this happening? Why is Kevin Durant a player capable of changing the dynamic of one of the best rosters ever assembled? Why does a team full of stars need him more than any other player except LeBron James? Yeah, we have to talk about this. We all witnessed what happened during the month of July, when all the players who were going to represent the United States in basketball got together a few weeks ago. The footage looked like something out of an Avengers movie, and everyone thought the process of winning Olympic gold was going to be a cakewalk. However, the preparation matches proved otherwise. The first of them was the match against Canada on July 11th, a game in which the USA won by only 6 points. But that was not the worst of it. The starting five, composed by Steph, Drew, Book, Embiid, and LeBron, accumulated a plus of 7. It was the bench that pulled the pan out of the fire in the moments of truth. But hey, Canada is one of the best teams in the world. In fact, they are the second favorite for the gold medal according to the bookmakers. So that could serve as an excuse, right?
28 to go here in the second.
In the second game, the US won again, this time against Australia. But the difference was again the same. 6 points. I mean, they won and pretty much controlled the game, but they blew a 24-point lead in a matter of minutes. In a game that they could control until the end, the final taste was bittersweet. It's true that in the third game of the preliminary tour, which was against Serbia, Team USA dominated. That day, they generated no doubts. They won by 26 points thanks to the 57 combined points scored by Steph, Ant, and Adebayo. But in the fourth warm-up game, the impossible almost happened. If it wasn't for LeBron James's clutch basket, Team USA could have lost against South Sudan. The African team was able to match the physicality of the Americans, and that almost cost them the game. In the end, Team USA won by a single point. Against Germany, in the last warm-up game, they only managed to win by 4 points, and all thanks again to an imperial LeBron James, who managed to carry his team in the final moments. In conclusion, 4 of the 5 victories of Team USA in the preparation games came by a lead less than or equal to 6 points. That feeling of dominance was not present, not even close to being present. That's why Steve Kerr had some concerns heading into the games that would count, the ones that Team USA would play since the 2024 Olympics officially began. Even more so considering that their first opponent would be Serbia, one of the favorites to win a medal in the tournament.
And knocked away beautifully by Guduric. And the lob too.
But this time, the United States was up for the challenge. Yes, we are not just talking about a change of mentality. It's clear that the players were going to give it their all when the real competition started. But there was a specific reason why Team USA was able to destroy a team like Serbia, which has in its ranks the player considered by many fans as the best basketball player in the world. The reason is none other than Kevin Durant. Before the game, Kerr had already given signals that KD was not going to start against Serbia just to make Durant's ramp up easier and more progressive until he was able to regain his competitive rhythm. So the coach decided to go with a starting 5 that he had already used during the warm-up games: Steph, Drew, Book, Bron, and Embiid. However, the game started off pretty close. In fact, the first minutes were completely dominated by Serbia. The team coached by Svetislav Pesic was up 10-2 just 3 minutes into the game, and Team USA fans began to fear the worst. Once again, the offense wasn't quite clicking. You could tell that Serbia had a lot of chemistry, and that the redeemed team barely had any experience as a group. In fact, with only 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter, Serbia was still leading by 6 points. But then, there came a turning point. Can you imagine the reason? Yes, Kevin Durant came back from injury. People wanted to see how competitive he was. They wanted to see if he was ready to contribute from the start. But the reality was much better than that. Kevin scored a three-pointer right after he came in that brought the USA within 3 points. Right after, another one that put the USA up by 3. And that was just the beginning, because in the second quarter, he just had the intention to torch his defender. First, using screens as a ball handler to finish from mid-range thanks to his high release. And of course, also from the catch and shoot. It's not normal to see him play in this role, but Kevin is one of the deadliest shooters in all basketball. And the moment you stop paying attention to him, he is capable of punishing you. When Durant entered the court, Team USA was trailing by 6. When he sat down again, just 7 minutes later, USA was leading by 10 points, a plus 116 in record time, a streak that helped the team to finally break the game. But KD's show didn't stop there. At the end of the second quarter, he returned to the court and Serbia had cut the deficit to 2 points. So he went to work from the low post. First, with an incredible fadeaway that was really contested and still managed to score. Then with a triple identical to his iconic dagger against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2018 finals. And finally, with a heavy contested fadeaway with just 2 seconds left in the second quarter. Again, Durant was key for Team USA to separate themselves on the scoreboard.
And they get it to Durant, and sure enough, he gets it up and in.
In the 16 minutes that Durant was on the court, the score was a 20-point advantage for the United States. Not only that, but playing only 16 minutes, Kevin got the second-best efficiency score, only behind LeBron James. In a game in which he signed splits of 89% from the field, 100% from three-pointers, and 100% from free throws, KD only missed one 2-point shot that evening. All this without having any kind of competitive rhythm. Not that it's a surprise to anyone, but Team USA needs Kevin Durant. They need a scorer who can break games open, an efficient and consistent scorer who is able to perform day in and day out. Someone who is able to penetrate the tough FIBA defenses, which besides being extremely physical, have a center who is always protecting the rim due to the absence of the defensive 3 seconds rule. And yes, Team USA has multiple elite scorers who are theoretically capable of this. Tatum, Steph, Book, Ant, or Embiid. But none of them have anywhere near the experience that Kevin Durant has in FIBA tournaments.
Durant for 3!
A player who has been playing these tournaments for 14 years and who has averaged more than 21 points per game during his FIBA career. Actually, it is kinda curious to see how the 2 oldest players on Team USA are the ones who are carrying the team. They are the 2 most reliable players that Steve Kerr has at his disposal. LeBron has been proving it for a while now, having led the team throughout the preparation phase. But Durant only needed 20 seconds on the court to show his willingness to help him. This generation won't last forever. In fact, this will most likely be the last FIBA tournament for these 2 basketball legends. And while this will be a problem for Team USA in the future, which will have to find generational replacements, my advice is that we should enjoy them while we can, because KD, like LeBron, is an unprecedented historical player, a player capable of leading one of the best basketball teams ever assembled. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're always breaking down the biggest stories and trends in the NBA, and you won't want to miss our future videos. And hey, while you're at it, smash that bell icon too. That way, you'll be notified as soon as we drop new content. Trust me, with how quickly things change in the NBA, you'll want to stay up to date.